So there I was, lying in my bed, trying to figure out new ideas for videos, my book, and various other projects I have, and then an interesting question popped up in my head, and I wanted to ask you guys this. Have you ever been read to at any point in your life? Because I know I have. And what I mean is like by whether it's by a person or by a automated voice software of some kind. Like family members, teachers, friends, or even like I said, audio software like Audible or Siri or anything like that. Because I'm 99.9% sure everyone has been read to at one point or another, and you may have not even realized it. Salutations everyone, and welcome to the first episode of SabeStories with me, your host SaberTC. As the title may imply, this is a new series on this channel in which I will be sharing stories with all of you from various points in my life, whether it have to do with video games or tabletop RPGs or just various adventures I've had throughout my lifetime. So sit back and enjoy. So I figured for this first episode I would share with you where my love of storytelling stems from and the stories that have to go along with it. See, the purpose of that question I asked was to verify a theory I have. See, I think people who are outspoken and theatrical and such typically get exposed to a lot of people telling them stories when they're little, whether it be their grandpa, their mother, or the old crazy guy down the street, whatever it may be. And to that degree, it depends on the type of reading style that's used, whether it's slow and monotoned and forced and struggling, or lively and theatrical and with voices and gestures and grand performance, or that sort of thing. Maybe it's not even something that's read. Maybe it's just something that's passed down through word of mouth for generations or from person to person, or made up on the spot right out of the person's head. I mean, DM life, right? I guess it's not so much being read to completely. It's like if you've ever been told a story or a joke from somebody else. I guess both for that matter. Either way, I would love to hear your stories in the comments. At least in my case, it was my parents who did that kind of thing with my sister and I. More so my mom than my dad, but that's just because my dad was in the military and he didn't have a lot of free time between deployments and jobs and getting called out all the time. But the time he did have, he spent with us, playing with my sister and I, assisting my mother with various things, including reading stories to us. At least until she ripped the book from his hand, saying, "Oh, you're so slow, let me do it." See, my parents have two distinct reading styles. While my dad is more slow and soothing and seemingly rehearsed, my mom is more animated and lively and natural sounding. Even though their styles are completely different, I enjoyed whenever anybody would read to me, and my sister did as well. But just because they went about doing things differently doesn't necessarily mean they couldn't work together to bring my sister and I some fantabulous literary experiences. Good times. In fact, it would work out for the best. Sometimes my mom would be the narrator, my dad would be the characters in the story, or my mom would be the characters and my dad would be the narrator, or my mom would be the main characters and my dad would be the side characters, you know, that kind of thing. In fact, our house was quite the library of different books, but the first book I can remember reading was the dictionary, followed by my mom's nursing book. Oh, the anatomy section gave me nightmares. But, within weeks we would read, like within days we would read all the books in our house over and over again, and very rarely would we be able to buy new ones. See, we weren't the most well off, and we're much better now, but back then, It was hard times. But thanks to some ingenuity, we would have fun field trips to the local bookstore, whether it be a Barnes and Nobles or something else. All I remember is going to the store with my parents whenever my dad would be home, and we would go there, and he would say, "Okay, go and pick out a book that doesn't have a plastic sleeve on it that you want to read, both of you." And then they would send us off, and I would be rolling through the aisles, and my sister would be trailing close behind or even in front of me, and then we would search until we found a book or two that looked interesting and met the criteria, and then we went back to our parents where the couches were in the store, and we'd hand the books to them, and they would crack them open and my mom would crack them open and start reading to us. And then what's it called? And then book after book after book, we would spend afternoons there. And the proprietors, the owners, the people, the customers, yeah, that's what they're called, customers, didn't really bat an eyelash, even though the owners took quite the interest in us. In fact, they were shocked and surprised to see kids my sister and I's age. Like, we were like maybe 2 and 3 at most, and usually kids our own age aren't really that interested in reading, but they were blown away. So one time they stopped my parents before going out of the store and told them and had a little talk with them about us, but nothing bad. They were just so surprised and shocked and happy that that my sister and I were so interested in their wares. So they what's it called? So they hooked us up with good deals and brochures for upcoming sales, like grand sales, you know. And we had some good rapport with them. It continued for a while, and you know, like I said, we were able to buy more and more books, and it worked out for the best. My sister and I had our favorite book series as kids. Like, for example, I liked reading dinosaur books, and Cam Jensen was my favorite series, along with Time Traveling Treehouse. I was into that kind of thing. And then my sister was into Junie Jones. Oh god. If you go to my sister's channel and just spam Junie Jones in the comments, she will have no choice but to tell you a story. At least I think. Another time I can recall is like we would have book fairs, you know, and at my school. I don't know if you guys had these, like, if you were in elementary school where, like, a big truck filled with all kinds of books and different educational things would come into, like, the schoolyard, and then you could go with your parents to buy, like, different, like I said, what they have on sale. And that's where I got many of the books that I enjoyed and read quite a bit. I didn't even know the book fair existed until somebody pointed it out, and then I was like, wait, that's what it is? And then I begged my parents to take me there because there was a book I really wanted. Full disclosure, it was a Pokedex book. It was like the one for Hoenn, like every Pokemon until Hoenn. So yeah, that's taking me back. There are other times where my mom would tell us stories at night to help us go to sleep, either through song or like just ones that were passed down from her mother and father. Like, I don't know if you've heard of the story of the monkey and the turtle. That's a good one. Or, you know, other ones. I'm blanking on them, but they were really fun stories, and they kind of are integrated into my personality now, I suppose. And probably that's why I act so animated when I talk to you guys most of the time. And sometimes I sound so monotone. But I'm rambling on. If you made it to this point in the video, then good for you. And comment down below letting me know what your thoughts are on this video and series as a whole, as well as what I should cover next time. Leave a like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell if you want to stay up to date with everything that I'm up to. Also, in the description, there will be a link to my Twitch. You can follow me on there, and it will notify you whenever I'm live streaming. And finally, you can donate to me on PayPal if you want. That information will be down in the description as well. Well, until next time, I have been your host, SaberTC, and I am signing out. Love you all, and stay sharp, everyone.